All right, so cycle 3, week 17, Lichtenstein. I'm just going to do a quick one through of some visuals and some ideas of things you could expound on for each of your classes. So we'll have these two examples in the binder of two of Lichtenstein's work. This one that shows the word, and then you just elements of shape around here filled with the different sized dots. And then this one also, which is kind of getting back to that comic that Lichtenstein's really known for too, with the words and the jets and stuff. But so you can talk as much or as little as you wanted to about. This is a Jasper Johns print, another modern artist, where he's just using something that's the American flag. So looking at that everyday object and making it into art. So making the viewer think about that everyday object, whether it's art or not, or looking at it closer, and to just really see something for what it is. And so with the comic books, with Lichtenstein, he also is adding in text, though, and so he's adding in having the viewer question something or looking at it, and a lot of social commentary with his work, too. But one of the kind of cool science things we can pull in with Lichtenstein is those dots and what the purpose of that is. So of course those kind of came from comics printed in the newspaper, where you could see all those little dots that make up each of the colors. And so they use cyan, magenta, and yellow, and a black to be able to get different colors without having to have all of those different colors of ink to be able to reproduce an image. So there's two Wikipedia articles that explain that really well. So in printing in the newspaper, they used halftone is what that actually is, those dots. And the difference between halftone and the Ben-Day dots that Lichtenstein uses is Ben-Day dots are all the same size. There's this visual where they're just kind of overlapped in different amounts to be able to get different shades and tones. And then in the halftone, the dots change in size to be able to, so this is a blow up of what this would look like, of getting that gradient, because those dots get smaller and so there's less black. But just at a distance with all of these ideas is that if we look at it from a distance, our eyes blur these dots together and we don't see the white spaces, but we see instead the gradients. So there's some, if you want to know more about halftone and Ben-Day, then those are great articles. But this visual from Wikipedia I will have, where it shows the different, in the binders, there'll be copies for this for each class, of the cyan, magenta, and yellow, and then a little the size of the dots change, but those overlapping of colors like this produces this blue color at a distance. And the same thing here to get the green and the red. So they can produce numerous colors in photographs just by using these dots. Instead of having to have all those different types of inks, they can have cyan, magenta, and yellow, and black to be able to do that. Okay, so that's the science part. And you could, of course, relate that to persistence of vision, like from cycle 2 or from earlier this year, we talked about that. But then for our project for today is that we're going to have, you can either have students work from a photocopy of something like this pop word with, our elements of shape, angled lines and such, or draw their own. But we're working from this idea, and we'll have two different sizes of one will be a circular foam brush, and the other one will be Q-tips for students to use primary colors and to fill in the words and then the spaces around that to create their own artwork like this. And I will also have some examples up on the wall that we could see that are colored in like this, so that from a distance be able to see how our eyes blend those those dots together to make different colors and to fill in those spaces. Okay, that's it.